Before we begin, thank you very much to two convoys of indeterminate size and a trench coat for pitching in over on Ko-fi. We're getting away from the size gimmick. Two convoys of indeterminate size in a trench coat. So you're looking at like a 6-foot person with like 4 big mammoth tusks pointing out from the sides of the coat, on each other's shoulders, obviously. So I'm thinking these like 3-foot tall, somewhere around like 3-foot tall big convoys. You know, the size that a lot of the internet thinks that toy should be, even though he's really no bigger than Lio Convoy. But thank you very much for pitching in. Definitely supports. FYI, I just took my car in for repairs. I really appreciate everyone who has been pitching in on Ko-fi and Patreon right now. Thank you very, very much. But we have a news roundup today because this is a Monday and we have a lot of news coming out of Takara. They showed off a lot more of their toys coming out. So they did a live stream where they showed off a ton of upcoming figures themselves, starting with things like the upcoming Commander class Onslaught and all this cool stuff it does. And it's nice to see this in solid molded plastic colors rather than the prototypes or the renders. Something about that like base mode looks way more substantial when it's like you have the proportion of it and someone's hand is right there, but also you can tell it really is just the legs kneeling down with a gun on top. I mean, Onslaught himself does look pretty good. Not going to take that away from him. I mean, say what you want about the Commander price for what you're getting on this guy, but he looks pretty good. He looks pretty accurate to me. Looks like a very solid figure as well. Here we have Missing Link Grimlock, who in some of these poses looks fairly indistinguishable from the original G1. That is cool. That is what we like. But yeah, this thing has so much more going on to it. And here we have the comparison. There's the vintage. You can tell by how roughed up the stickers are. Obviously, the Missing Link is going to be using sculpting and paint in order to make the sticker details, which is amazing looking. It looks so much better. Showing you how the whole sculpt and everything does work, how the next sculpt works. That's actually really neat. Yep, we do have like elbows and shoulders on the T-Rex mode. We have, wow, that's a lot of range on the leg. Yeah, it's just a really impressive figure. Like, really impressive how we got all the tail curls as well. You can curl the tail. Little Carly figure that can fit inside. Nice, nice. Not that those two ever really interacted much. Yeah, oh, man. Oh, look. Oh, that is something I didn't notice before. They've added heel spurs to Grimlock, so he actually balances better than the original. I think that makes sense considering he is very, very back heavy. Especially when you start getting him into poses. That is a good call from Takara. I like that a lot. God, he looks so good. And like I said, it just makes sense to do. Oh, there's how the elbow joint works in robot mode. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's just and articulated fingers as well. Okay, I hope they do fix that. I don't want I don't want like the hand slider as part of the transformation to be too rough because those always wore out or broke pretty easily. So hopefully that is better engineered than the G1. It's still so cool to see the G1 design posing in these angles. Oh, they brought the head farther forward. Oh, so that's been fixed. Okay, I assume you can have the head back if you want it toy accurate, but that's actually a nice change too. That's actually a really nice change as well. That's why this looks so better. Like, obviously the articulation changes a lot of this, but what was really getting me was, like, there was something off about the overall shape that was confusing me. It's the position of the head. It's actually correct now. The stream also showed off MPM N01 Sideswipe. And he looks good enough. My big thing with Sideswipe designs is those stupid little pistons they put in the hips, which here seem to be inconsequential. Good. Yeah, they figured out how to give him a little bit more balance. There's chunks of car being used as heel spur here. I mean, it is a cool design. It's a cool design, and it looks like they did a pretty good job replicating it out. Like, he looks really, really good. I don't know how improved it is over, say, the Human Alliance version of the design, because that was also pretty good. If you have that one still, I don't know how much it would be worth it to actually go upgrade. And then there's the Sideswipe G1 version, and it's still weird to me that they would do this. I would have done like the cheeky little thing of putting in like a swappable head so you could switch them out into Revenge of the Fallen Swerve if you really wanted it. I do like them being transparent about like, hey, we're releasing this color scheme as well, not like sneaking it in down the line or something. Let me choose which one I want, movie accurate or vintage color. I just think he looks better in the red. Like I think the red on the black and silver hits a lot harder. But that's just me. So, beyond that, there are also full image galleries from Takara showing off everything. It is Takara press photos, which are terrible quality, as they usually are. They're very small pictures of all the new upcoming product, but they do exist if you want them. They are there. There's the Style Gen Hot Rod if you want any more confirmation that it's just an upscaled 86 toy. Yep, and here's the powered up Lio Convoy. Looking neat. Confirmation that yes, his design is done in glow in the dark plastic, which is really, really cool actually. I'm really happy they went that approach. Let's see. We have more pictures of things. There's more shots of the Grimlock that appeared at a trade show. Still looks fantastic. Of course it does. Just nice to see it out in the wild instead of like in a studio somewhere where they can control the lighting, the poses, etc. Man, Missing Link is such a cool idea. I said for years that the next step needed to be just like take the original designs and add articulation. You know, let us play with the toys the way we hoped that they could play as when we were kids. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. You get a better look at how the ankles and feet work here too. Looks like he has like a proper front foot now. I don't know what to tell you. These things are just really, really cool. I like that they break out the old one to stand beside it too, just to kind of show you like how improved everything is. Geez, even the chrome is better than the ones they had back then. There's also show-off videos for all of this new product, all this new high-end product that's coming out. It's really just their promo shots, just like stylized into videos, so you really aren't going to see anything new by watching them. We also had a shot of the legendary Green Lion version of Lio Convoy. I do see people finally getting in the normal, like, T-Spark version of this figure in the standard colors. So finally that is out. I had a pre-order, canceled it because I didn't want to spend $50 on a minor upgrade to a character I only kind of like. So the green one, on the other hand, this one does a lot of neat stuff between just the fact that it's green, but also the glow-in-the-dark plastic is really unique. This one I would be far more interested in getting. Yeah, it's just such a cool figure in this sense. Like, this design style is so cool. We have in-hand shots of both the Wheelie as well as the upcoming Outback for the G1 Retro line. Now we're going to focus here on Outback for these photos because we just got to see a lot of Wheelie last week. We don't really need to see the same poses and same everything. Going more toy accurate is a little bit interesting with this design. It's close to how Outback looks in the show. Because obviously Outback in the show, everything season 2 and later is far closer to how the original toys looked. So Outback in the show tends to look a lot more like the toy. This one, I do feel like it's weird. Like, this one was always going to be compromised. Since they were trying to be more accurate to the design than they were with, say, Brawn in season 1, there's a lot of things missing here, like doors on the shoulders and all silver arms. But that is something that they can do with an eventual Generations Age of the Primes-esque release, which no doubt is coming. We already have confirmation. A screen-accurate wheelie is on the way. So no doubt that we're also going to get that for this guy as well. He also carries a little homage to the Mysterians on his hood. Little nod to his origins. I'm really curious about the origins of these toys now, because we know they came from the original Mysterians line. At least like 4 of the original G1 Minibots did. But there's also trademark work where they show the design style and the engineering style on them is trademarked by a designer at Takara. So now I'm super curious how these came about and who actually made these for what, etc. But that's the original G1 toys. We're talking about the modern ones, the upgraded ones. The wheelie still looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit awkward in proportion, but yeah, definitely too big. Wheelie is supposed to be like not too much bigger than a human character in an exosuit. But yeah, it's still cool to see that we're getting some new mold Minibots. There really aren't that many left. They're very close to having a full line of deluxe Minibots out there. Like, cool of them to accomplish that. We have in-hand shots here for Age of the Primes Sideways. We've seen this toy a few times, but it's cool to see again. There's one set of pictures that I took out of this because it was Takara's press shots of all the upcoming toys, and their press shot, this just seemed to be the same press shots that Hasbro used, so that's why I skipped it. But it seems as though their idea, like their press photos also do not show this design. They do not show this design and everything it can do. It doesn't show the Headmaster gimmick. See, if we look at this, this is actually a little bit more telling of how these guys transform. So to combine into mirror, they have to part form, which is disappointing considering the original version did not have to do that. It was like the clash of the arms, and the arms just kind of fold back, you know, and just kind of stick out the back of the combined Minicon. Here you can see that, I can't remember which one is Rook and which one is Crosswise, you'll forgive me. But the gray one's arms are something that can be removed and stuck onto the side as guns. The same thing happens to the legs of the other one. This feels really cheap. This toy is already like a deluxe screaming to justify itself as a Voyager class toy, and while retaining the original gimmicks helps, it really needed to pull off the rest well, and I don't think part forming is going to be the solution here, so that's a little bit disappointing. The overall look is still cool. I mean, it's very much, you know, the Sideways bike. Can't really get around that. It is a lot thicker than it used to be. I will point out that. So they didn't quite solve the rear bulk issue very well. A lot of comparison photos. Yeah, we get it. We get it. We get the size. All right, and then Takara also explained this. So this is how the whole Headmaster gimmick works. You have to separate the arms to do this. That gives you that lets them expand out and lets you tuck the head away. The horns will stay out, which is accurate to the original design. And then, yeah, the Minicons form the heads. No big thing about it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny because it's a 5mm port up there. So yeah, and I guess in order to form the head designs, you also need to part form the arms off. That's actually a little bit disappointing. Now, in the original, the arms were very small, very not show accurate, and the arms were thin enough to insert into the torso. And that was actually what triggered the whole like faction swapping gimmick on the inside of the chest. So it's unfortunate that they didn't figure out some way of making room inside the torso for that. It's a little bit disappointing. Just a little bit. Yeah, he's a very small Voyager class toy, but he does a lot and comes with a lot. So we're talking it up to that. It's a little bit disappointing in the Minicon transformation department, that's all. But to get him screen accurate, that might have been the only option here. So that's unfortunate. So, remember that list of crossovers that we are getting in 2026, where we got to speculate on what all of the teasers meant? We know what Kick is now. Kick is a collaboration with Major League Soccer. So this is something I actually did think of if Kick actually did refer to like a sport of some kind. And my brain went to football, but we already have football. And also, Kick would probably refer to like the most popular sport in the world, which is soccer. Or football for everyone else in the world who isn't from America. Now, it looks fine. It looks pretty decent. I'm not a soccer fan, so I'm not terribly interested in this. I like that it comes with a ball, and I like that it comes with a display stand. So that's a little neat bonus as well. The ball opens up. I assume that is for storage or potentially as a weapon, but it doesn't really show it. And there's the ball mode. So yeah, he just transforms into a completely smooth ball. And this is where literally everybody starts calling on Hasbro to retool this into either a tiny Primus or a tiny Unicron. My money, my desire would be on a tiny Unicron and release it as Energon Unicron as a reference to the weird tournament arc episode where Unicron showed up at normal size. But that's just me. I think anytime Transformers does any toy that transforms into a ball shape, the whole thing just starts screaming, make it make it Unicron, make it Primus. It'd be funny if they did. The next More Than Meets the Eye collection figure has been revealed, and it's a reissue of Scourge. It is just a straight up reissue of 86 Scourge. So Hasbro promised us in the main line they wouldn't be doing package refreshes anymore, which was, by the way, a lie. They do have package refreshes on the way. But there's definitely minimized. And it's minimized because instead we are getting these little sublines that are basically a way of re-releasing characters that they think deserve another go at the store. Scourge is not a bad one because everyone wants to have multiple sweeps. Most people want to have multiple sweeps. They want to be able to troop build this thing. But there is literally no deco difference. So if you did not get your hands on this toy before, great opportunity. If you've previously bought this toy as this original 86 release, you're fine. You're not missing out on anything unless you just want an army of sweeps at your disposal. Still good for anyone who missed out on it. Here was an interesting story. So the CGI artist for Hasbro at the time, and back in 2015, has shown off these, which is, you remember the Construct Bots, which was Transformers' attempt to do Bionicle. Didn't go over very well. But it looks like they were planning to expand on the toy line because these renders are for the Robots in Disguise 2015 series. Both the smaller versions, here Optimus, there was Bumblebee, here's Sideswipe. Yep, and there's Steel Jaw, actually looking pretty good there. Can't remember your name, because they don't remember the series very well, but they also were doing larger scale ones. The aesthetic of these never quite hit me, and obviously they didn't quite hit with kids either because Construct Bots was one of those here 1 year, gone the next kind of toy lines. Man, but we would have gotten another Thunderhoof. We would have gotten another tractor deer robot guy. That would have been funny. But still, it's an interesting little piece of lost media. We almost had another round of Construct Bots. Apparently just did not do well, which has been unfortunate for the RID 2015 fans who would have liked this. So, Grow and Killer Body are doing a full-size, well, not a full-size, but we were doing a 6-inch Revenge of the Fallen wheelie. Completely screen accurate. Looks like they have light-up eyes and everything. This is a neat figure. If you like Revenge of the Fallen wheelie, this is probably a great way to go. It does not transform, but it's far more accurate than the deluxe that came out in the original toy line. And yeah, much closer to like real size as well, if that is important to you. So if you want accuracy, here you go. This is probably the best bet you got. It does look neat. I'm not big on Wheelie as a character, Revenge of the Fallen in general. But this is a neat action figure. They went all out to make sure this thing looked as accurate as possible. It's a very, very impressive job for what is ultimately a niche release. But for those who enjoy that niche, you're going to be feasting. A lot of news this week. All right, we must forge on. 3-0 announced showing off in-hand shots of their Dirge. We've seen the Secret Mold plenty of times before. Now here is the Dirge version in hand, looking really, really nice. I think could use a little bit darker gray. I think the gray is a little bit too bright for Dirge. Dirge is supposed to be like spooky, ominous, and that is very much like unfinished prototype gray. But overall, the sculpting is good. It's very heavily greebled, very technological, very futuristic, hyper detailed kind of thing. It does look pretty good if you're into that aesthetic. Obviously, again, not a transforming figure. Larger than a Voyager. Looks like he's coming up to like what a normal leader scale toy is these days. Oh, excuse me, I've been talking all day, so my throat is just about had it. Yep, and there you can see all the sculpting differences. It's mostly the same mold, obviously it is. They're Seekers, they have to be the same mold because that's just the way we do things. It's interesting to look at the Starscream and see where the little things are on that figure, because they realize at some point it's going to be like a cone head with wings on the legs. So you see like little gun bits on Starscream there that have been replaced with like the mounting point for the wings on Dirge. Little things like that that show you they were thinking well ahead of time on these releases, which is kind of cool. I like that attention to detail and that effort. Little differences too. Little different toes. Why different toes of all things? So yeah, adding to your Seeker collection if you like the MDLX line. A lot of people do, because this has been going on for quite a while now. Super 7 is releasing another series of their blind box figures, which are really just repaints of Reactivate toys, just done in blind boxes now. I think these are just as lame as normal Reactivate figures, so no big surprises here for me. You have animation accurate Optimus Prime, a metallic Grimlock and Megatron, a Soundwave, and the mystery one. Apparently all of these are metallic. A mystery one is a 1 in 12 chance of getting. The wave is stacked with Megatron and Optimus, so if you want your Grimlock, good luck. The mystery one is literally just a sparkly red Optimus Prime for absolutely no reason. Optimus Prime has no shortage of color schemes that you could do, homages that you could have. I don't know why they went with something completely weird and different. I could say the same of the all translucent pink Megatron as well. It's not even his reformatting colors. You know, this would have been so much neater if this was also just completely translucent. Do away with the metal flakes inside and just do like translucent like baby blue or something. Just to like counterpoint the pink. I don't know. I think this is a disappointment. I think the missing figures. I think the chase figure there is disappointing. But then again, I've never known a Reactivate figure to actually impress me, so there you go. And to finish it up for the week, Duckoo has released these little rubber duck transformers. So we have an Optimus Prime and a Bumblebee. Little, about average rubber duck size, super cute aesthetic. They look like they're in their like really, really good cosplays of these characters. Interestingly enough, it's a G1 based Optimus Prime and a movie based Bumblebee. It's an interesting call to switch them two up like that, but I guess those are the most popular depictions of both. But that is your weird news for the week, and we always finish up with a weird one, so that's the news roundup. Long one this week, lots to talk about. Takara putting out so much new stuff to look at. But there you go. Thank you for sticking through the video for me. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.